Hey, it's William Byron. Second time in a row that I get to talk to you after the Daytona 500 as a winner. Super excited. Listen, when I sat
Yeah.
down with you last year, though, you did not have the ring because you said it was too cocky, but I just saw the bling. So let me see it.
Yeah,
I
we're
love
keeping
it.
it on display today, so it's a pretty cool one. They did some upgrades this year, so
Like what? Tell me about. Tell me what kind of
it's
upgrades.
just a little bit. I don't know. It looks yeah, it's just the logo is a little bit more simple this year, so looks nice. It looks clean.
All right, full disclosure, we're taping this at 8:45 and my friend, you look very like sprite and awake. Did we get a good night rest or did we hang with the fam too late?
No, we ended up at Waffle House with my whole team, so it was a late night. I had about an hour of sleep, maybe if that, but yeah, I'm running on adrenaline, so
Good.
hopefully that carries me through.
Good. All right. Listen, in your post-race interview, I had a really hard time gauging your emotions. And I know that you're not a guy that kind of like gets really emotional and over the top, but what were you feeling in that moment?
Yeah, I didn't know how to feel. I felt in some ways I felt like just the way that the nature of the race, I was in shock, just the way
Mhm.
that it played out. So I don't feel like I had a sort of a genuine reaction because I just was trying to understand it myself, and um it was crazy. I mean, the end of the race was wild, and I do think as I got a chance to really watch it back, I realized, it really set in, and I honestly had more emotion in a positive way after I got a chance to watch it and see how it played out. It was honestly a really in my opinion, I'm sure I'm biased, but it was a really cool finish. The way the car kind of came out of the corner and just came out of the smoke. So that was kind of cool.
Two-time Daytona 500 winner. That's crazy. How does that sound? That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, it's insane. I think when I started racing, I never thought, like, in my wildest dreams, I never thought that I was gonna, win a Daytona 500. But I think that, for me, the goal was just to race cars, and I'm fortunate to be in that position. And
Yeah.
it just continues to grow, and it's just kind of grown, beyond my wildest dreams, and even, my family. I think that's what's cool to, my dad always reminds me of that. He's like, look where, you started, and he'll send me things, to keep me motivated, and it's
Aw.
pretty cool.
What did he send you before yesterday's race?
Yesterday's he didn't say anything in particular, but I remember over the off season he sent me something just on a random Wednesday in December. He was like sending me something of my first Legends car win, and uh
Aw.
just reminding me of kind of where it started, and it renews your love for the sport and why you do it.
It is so hard to stay in the moment, and I think of you a lot because when we sat down last year with Mr. H, I went back and watched that interview, and, he said that you're a perfectionist, you're really critical of yourself, and you
Mhm.
said it to me at that time, "Winning the most races doesn't entitle you to anything, you have to get back to work." How hard is it for you to live in the moment? Because I know that you said yesterday in Victory Lane that you were going to try to do this, but is this a
Yeah.
difficult thing for you to do?
Yeah, and I think honestly, you saying that kind of reminds me. I feel like that's why in Victory Lane I had a hard time because I felt like it wasn't exactly the way I had the race, written out in my head of how, to win the race. And so that kind of factored in. But I think that for me, yeah, I'm really a perfectionist. I like to work on my craft and refine it. For me, it's more of a process than it is sort of the end goal. And that process is what fuels me every week to get better. And I think that once I kind of those things kind of line up, that's to me the end goals come with that.
'Cause you brought up Phoenix yesterday in your post-race interview. You're talking about winning the Daytona 500, and everyone kinda talks about this being a one-off before the quote, unquote, "season" starts, and I was listening to you, and you said, "Our goal is to get to Phoenix." So you're kind of already thinking way far ahead.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you have to set long-term goals, especially to motivate your team and yourself. And yeah, I don't think we can put too much pressure on just that one event, but it's a year-long process, and that starts, really at Daytona, but really next week and so on. So yeah, I think we just got to continue to keep our heads down, and we learned that last year. Just
Yeah.
the way that this race unfolds and what it means for your season. It gets your season really kick started. It's a huge momentum boost. So you got to use that to your advantage. And we definitely will.
One of the most iconic things that I think has become over the years, it's a Hendrick Motorsports driver in victory lane on the phone, right? We've seen Jimmy do it, we've seen Jeff do it over the years, and you know that on the other end of that phone is Mr. H, right? And now we've seen you do it. What did he say to you last night?
Yeah, I feel like we were both having a hard time getting the words out, but he was just really proud of us, and um, just kind of a really a surreal moment. Just a lot of joy on the
He
phone with
mentioned the
him, and
10th, right? More than petty
yeah,
now.
yeah, and that's really cool. I mean, that's it's not often you do something, that he hasn't accomplished yet, and so to for our team to add to that was really special, and I know he's proud of us, and we want to have a great year. So we set out a lot of goals in the preseason kickoff lunch, so hopefully we can accomplish those.
Well, Jimmy didn't win back-to-back Daytona 500s. Jeff did not win back-to-back Daytona 500s. You now broke Jeff Gordon's record as the youngest winner with 2 Daytona 500s, and he said in the media center, "I hope he breaks all my records." And listen, pressure is a privilege, right? So what is that for you when you're sitting next to JG, right? And you know how much he's meant to your career. You're driving the same number that he drove. You're doing things that he never did behind the wheel of that race car. What's that like?
It's really cool. I think he's been a big mentor for me, and honestly, I just think about how things always have a reason and happen for a reason. I feel like, just seeing that race yesterday, we talked about it on the grid, but how cool it would be to pull into victory lane with that car, because it looks so. It was
It
like
was cool.
a new version of what the 24 has always been with the flames, and I
Yeah.
just thought that fueled me all week. I was like, man, this car looks sick, and everyone was commenting about it. So I think, kind of creating that new age with the 24 car, and our team's really doing that and embracing it. So it was just special to have him there and kind of have his support.
Gotta feel like a total stud for sure pulling into victory lane with that car. Before I let you go, I gotta ask you about Japan. Is this the only place that you went over the off season? Like, tell me about your trips over the off season.
Yeah, I had a lot of cool trips. It was funny. I didn't have any trips planned when the off season started, and I came up with six. So it was a lot of travel, but I loved it. I honestly kind of opened my eyes to different cultures, and that one in particular was a really special experience. Just to meet, I met a lot of cool people over there, and honestly didn't want to leave. I felt like it was a great experience, and great food, and
Yeah.
yeah, so it was cool, and went to a few other places around the states, and just really enjoyed the off season.
And you went by yourself, right?
I did, yeah, I did, and that was crazy at first. It was the first day and a half was pretty uncomfortable, I would say, just trying to figure out where to go to eat and what to do. But it got more comfortable as I went, and I had people there. I had somebody with me during the day to kind of guide me around some places. But yeah, as the trip went on, it got more comfortable.
I gotta think that you probably did a lot of self-reflection, huh, William? I mean, when you think about being alone on a trip like that in an area where you don't know the language, you don't have a
Yeah.
lot of people there. How much of that reflection was racing related and how much was it just kind of William Byron related?
I think it's both. I mean, for me, I wouldn't say the halfway point of my career, but I'm getting closer to that. And I feel like, for me, it was just trying to figure out, my true love for this, and why I do it. And also, you can't stop growing as a person when you're racing. Just because you're a race car driver, that doesn't mean that's all you are. So I think that was a good
Oh, that's
chance to
cool.
grow and really learn a lot about myself, and kind of challenge that side of me outside of the car, because yeah, I was just anonymous over there. I didn't have No one knew about racing or anything. So that was a pretty cool experience.
What made you pick that location to go?
I think I was kind of in between there and Africa, but I think that
Oh,
hopefully I get there um, next year, maybe next off season. But yeah, just I think that was just a culture I really wanted to see, and um, I'm pretty OCD, so I think it's such a clean country, and
yeah.
they have very unique, like, no trash cans anywhere, so
No,
it's
what do you mean no
pretty
trash
unique.
cans?
They're
Where
literally
do you throw your
you find
trash?
like one, so people take it home with them.
Oh,
So
wow.
like they have one like every, I don't know, every 15 minutes if you're walking, like you
Huh.
might find one, but no trash cans like in the bathrooms or anything. So it's crazy experience. But
Did you learn any cool words, like, that you brought home that you just couldn't forget? Like, "Hello?" I mean, I know they're like, I
there,
could probably attempt some, but I can't. I would mess
yeah,
them
I
up.
sound my Japanese is terrible, so I'll I'll refrain from that. But I did learn some, and I feel like they speak really nice English. Honestly, like what I learned is English is a secondary language because they have so many people from different countries that um Chinese is different. So it's not like they can really. So a lot of people speak English, even people from Hong Kong and all over in Asia. So it's pretty neat how that kind of
That's
crosses
so
over.
cool. I love that.
Yeah.
What's left for you today? What else do you have to do today, William?
I think I have a lot of interviews, so
And are
but
they wrapping
a
you? Because
lot
I was
more.
told I have 7 more minutes with you, but if they're like
Oh
this
no,
on
you're
the other
good.
end, you gotta go? Okay.
No, you're good. But
Because
yeah, I
here we
have
are, we're
a
just
few more
talking about Japan
interviews.
and stuff, and you're like, I heard someone asking you questions about Nutella, and so I was like, "Hey, he's just covering all bases today."
Yeah, no, we do a few of those, and then I think we're doing Monday Night Raw, I believe, in Charlotte. So
I just
that'll
pulled
be
up
fun.
here, and the everywhere, the trucks are everywhere.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never been, so I'm kind of excited.
Are you gonna, like,
It'll be
get
interesting.
in the ring? Are they gonna oh, look at that. You could just bring
I hope.
that ring, and that'll be enough.
Yeah, I hope I don't get decked. So I'm just hopeful that they don't.
Yeah. I
I'm
don't
just
you
hopeful
would,
they
like,
don't
hit?
use
I
me
don't
as a
think they
prop.
actually will, like, use you as a prop, like, instead of a chair, just use
Yeah,
William Byron as a chair.
yeah,
I love it, I love it. Now, so, are you gonna ever wear both rings, do you think?
yeah. We might. Honestly, we might bring them to New York tomorrow. So we'll see. Maybe bring both. That's a good idea. We'll see.
Yeah, like, balance you out. So, do you, I know that you get the car back from last year. This one has to
Mhm.
stay in the museum. Where now are you going to keep like, where do you keep your first Daytona 500 trophy, and where will you now keep number 2?
Yeah. Honestly, I have no idea. I think I might just the first one's in my sunroom at home, but I think the second one I might just kind of maybe I honestly that's a great idea. I might just kind of give it out to the team for a little while.
Oh, that's
Maybe
cool.
do like the
Let each
Stanley
one
Cup
person
and
take one home for a night or 2?
exactly. Yeah. That
I
sounds
love
kind of
that.
cool.
Now, does your trophy so I don't know, have you ever heard the story with Trevor Bayne where his trophy had, like, all the confetti on it and the
Really?
beer and everything, and his
Yeah.
cleaning lady came in and cleaned it all off?
Cleaned it. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Does yours still look like
Well,
that, like, straight out of
unf
Victory Lane?
unfortunately mine last year has a couple scratches, so this year I'm super protective of it.
Oh,
So,
boy.
but no, there's no confetti on it
Alright.
that I see. But yeah.
Alright, William, I know you're running on an hour. Get some coffee for you.
I appreciate it.
I'm really happy for you, dude. Really, really happy
Thank
for
you.
you. Love calling you a two-time champion. Every time I see you, every time I interview you, now that's what I get to call you. Drew Blickensturfer, I do the same thing for every single time. You
That's
got to give him
awesome.
the credit. I'm really happy for you, and I'm really looking forward to see how this year goes for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it and look forward to hopefully see you at the golf tournament this
I
year.
will be there. I've already got
Cool.
my invite.
Awesome.
All right,
Awesome.
bye.
See you, Shannon. Thank you.
You're welcome.